Hey, what's up guys? Pat here with another video. This time we're going to do a little bit of commentary on a draft that I did this past weekend at my local game shop. It's quite a long one, so hopefully you guys have some time to sit down and actually watch all of this. I'm just going to walk you guys through my thought process on how I pick certain cards in certain packs, um, and you can get an idea of some of my strategies. I'm not the best limited player. I've played a lot of limited in other games, but Dragon Ball is quite unique. Even I'm still new to it, and it's quite difficult. So right away we see in this pack, we see Sankaba, great beater, self-awakener, so we're probably going to end up picking him. But at the same time, we see the Gotenks, he's really good. But right now, I'm looking at this full power Frieza, and he's a pretty big body. Removal's hard to come by in this format. He's very difficult to punch through, and I see the Galactic Emperor in the same pack. So this is obvious synergy. And I'm just going to take it. Yellow at my store is almost never played in limited for some reason. Don't ask me why. So I just know from prior experience that I can probably get away with a pretty savage Galactic Emperor deck. So I'm just going to go for it. When you're more experienced, having a predetermined strategy is great and all, but it shouldn't be set in stone. And I kind of run with it, and you'll see it ends up biting me later on. Boo is clearly the best card in this pack, but Bulma is also really good, but there's no Whis that's shown up yet, so it's not going to be super worth it. I believe there's a Whis in the last pack, but there's no guarantee it's coming back to us. Objection obviously really good, so I probably should go blue here, but I kind of want to go with this red-yellow Galactic Emperor deck. I think it's a really strong deck, and blue is crazy heavily overdrafted in my store. It feels like nobody ever reads the signal that they're not in blue and goes blue. So again, we're just going to go with this kind of safe pick and take the Vados' assistance and kind of see where it takes us. If that Kaba from pack 1 somehow makes it back to us, like, we're in the money. Vados is a pretty good card in limited because it deals with things. Again, hard to get removal, so having a removal leader is pretty good. Assistance is the only real great card in this pack, so we take the assistance. And now I'm feeling pretty good about moving into this red-yellow deck because I'm pretty confident that yellow is going to come back to me. So there we go, 3 picks in, which we got 9 left to go. I should take this time to mention that to my left is Brian. He's a kid who's pretty good at a lot of different games at my local game store. He's pretty good at drafting, so hopefully he picks up on some of my signals in this draft. Clearly the best card in this pack is Raging Attacker Vegeta. It's like super obvious. I honestly should take it, but I'm looking at Iron Wall, Vegeta, and like I said, we're already kind of thinking about going yellow-red. And removal's hard to get, and having the 15k that is basically unkillable seems pretty good to me at this point, so I take it. I feel like that is a mistake. I really think I should have taken Raging Attacker Vegeta. 4th pick Raging Attacker Vegeta that's a clear signal, and I'm actually a little annoyed looking at this footage again that I didn't pick up on it and go, yeah, you know what, you should be in green. I didn't see that many green cards, but who passes premium removal like that? It's 4th pick. Somebody should have taken it by now. I should also take this point to mention that there are 5 people in the pod. We had an odd number, so my pod ended up having 1 extra person, and that was my original pack. You can see I immediately scooped the Galactic Emperor because I really would like to go for this strategy. I'm basically locked in at this point. I'm gonna try to force Galactic Emperor, which again, you shouldn't try to force a strategy unless you're pretty confident it will work. Knowing the people at my store and what they like to play, it gives me a little bit of an idea that I can probably force it. So right now we're looking at Botamo and Sui because at me as a player, I know I end up drafting the mid to higher parts of my curve really early, and it's hard for me to fill out the early parts later on in the draft. So whenever I get to a point where there's just a bunch of mediocre cards, I'm just going to take the low card. So I end up taking the Sui there. Right now I'm thinking the hit is probably the go in this pack, although Terror Assault Frost is pretty decent too. I probably should have taken the hit, but looking at both cards, hit is way more common than Frost. And I'm worried that because of my color choice that I'm trying to force here, red-yellow, I'm not going to get too many opportunities at good 4-drops. And Frost is good enough. He actually has a little bit of burn damage tacked on him, and he's double strike. So I end up taking him, thinking, hey, we got 2 packs left. Hit's gonna be much more plentiful. Nothing great in that pack. We take Zarbon, even though he's a little bit redundant with our leader. Um, he still has some tricks when we're not flipped. That's a very easy Dodoria at that point. At this point, I'm feeling pretty good. I've got some negates. I've got a Dodoria. I've got a pretty big bomb in my color. I just needed to kind of round out and come a little bit together, and I think we might have a pretty solid deck here. So looking at this, Goldo and Birder, we just take the Goldo. Easy, somewhat removal, blocker, one drop, fills out our curve. Sounds great. So can't see how many picks at that point. There's only 2 cards left in the pack. We already have Galactic Emperor, so we'll take the Batarang Laser that almost surely will not get played because there's just no way we're going to be playing this Batarang Laser. Most people have maybe 2 counters tops in their entire deck in a limited format, so it's just not going to happen. There's no way. And the last pick card was a Broly's Ring. We're not going to be playing Broly, so that's just that card. Oh, I'm sorry, my bad. That was Frieza, Hellish Terror. I think it might be another pack that we end up getting the Broly's Ring table to us. So yeah. Moving on to the second pack. This time we're going to be going right, as indicated by my hand there. So let's see. What do we have in pack 2? Results of Training. Further Instruction Champa is pretty good for us. Frieza's Call is okay if we had better cards, but we don't right now. There's a Dodoria and a Super Saiyan Gotenks. Honestly, if I had taken the Raging Attacker Vegeta and then taken that, I just would be in the money. But at this point, I know for sure I want to go Galactic Emperor, so I'm just take the Dodoria now. Again, mistake too. Probably should have taken the Gotenks. Probably should have forced green. At this point, like I had an opportunity to take 2 of the best green cards in basically the entire game, and I didn't take them, so that is basically my fault. I probably should have taken it. Something to adjust for in the next time we do this draft. So looking at this pack, Sun Goten's removal hits there, and then there is Ginyu, and so somebody passed me Ginyu, and I'm thinking about just taking it because there's still plenty of time left in this pack for me to be able to pull out more Ginyu Force cards. So I decided to take it because 6-drop 35k double strike, it's hard to deal with in limited. It's just a finisher. I'll just take it. I mean, this plus my 25k triple striker makes me feel pretty good about my late game. And again, like I said, we're trying to go red-yellow, which doesn't exactly have the best late game when it comes to this game in general. So I'm just going to take the Captain Ginyu and be happy that I now have basically finishers. I'm good on finishers right now. Maybe one more might be pretty good, but yeah, I'm pretty set on finishers. Now I need to start filling out my 5s, 3s, and 1s mostly. Oh, card just starting to pile up. Sui's in the pack, but it's obvious, and so is Jace to go with that nice Ginyu we took, but we obviously are just taking the Cold Bloodless here. It's broken. And people will hate draft that card if it goes by, so I might as well just snatch it now. I'm pretty sure that Jace is going to come back to me. There's Birder to go with that Ginyu. So at this point, like I said, we're trying to live the Ginyu dream. We're trying to assemble pieces. We have Ginyu, we have a Birder now. We know we're going to get at least one Jace. Looking at this pack, again, there's the Cold Bloodlust. Kind of want the Avenging Frieza, but again, people will hate draft Bloodlust, so we just take it. So at this point, we now have 2 Bloodlusts and 2 Dodorias, and pretty decent finishers, so I'm feeling pretty confident about where I'm at with my draft deck. Even though we're only, what is it, 17 cards in, I'm feeling pretty nice, at least as far as yellow goes. I feel like I've kind of mission accomplished on yellow here. Even if I don't get too many other yellow cards, what I feel like I have is pretty good. I'd really like to get a Mecha Frieza, and maybe 1 or 2 more 1 and 2 drops, and I'd be feeling pretty confident there. But what I don't feel like I'm getting right now is a lot of red. I was getting a decent amount of red in the previous packs, but in this pack's not really any red to speak of, so it's starting to feel a little dry. 7 more picks to go in this pack. Let's see, what do we have in this pack? This should be, I believe, my first pack again back, so yep, Tagoma, Frieza's Call, Fadas. Yeah, there's nothing great in here. It's your choice is basically between a 2-drop blocker. We don't have enough 1-drops for Frieza's Call to really be worth it yet, and that's most likely going to come back in table, and almost nobody's going to take that. So we end up taking the Tagoma here, I believe. No, we end up taking the Vegeta, I'm sorry. Yeah, Magetta just because he's a little bit more consistent. Tagoma just has cute plays. Zarbon, Banan, and Hit. Hit should be the pick here. He is just a 2-drop 15k. He is in our colors. Yeah. At that point, I think I'm looking at that pack and thinking I'm probably going to take Banan on the way back or Zarbon. Not really sure yet. Banan's not exactly super great, but he's probably a little bit better than Zarbon. But Zarbon does have some really cool plays that I really like. So looking at the Sui and the Jace, we have 5. So whatever I take here is the last card I'm taking out of this pack. So I take the Jace because again we got Birder, we got Jace. There's still an entire pack left of Galactic Battle. We might be able to live this this Ginyu dream, make this Ginyu pay off. And then we look at this. The only playable card here is the Sashimi for us, so we just take it. I think this is that's 8 picks in, so we have 4 left to go. Right, 4, yeah. No, maybe I got 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, the 3 left. I'm sorry, I cannot count. My apologies. Oh, by the way, actually, no, I'll get back to it in a bit. So here we go. 3 more. Avenging Frieza is clearly the best card in the deck. Gives us a 1-drop. Gets our Dodorias, our 2 Dodorias easier. So yeah, definitely want to be taking that card. Kui's great. I don't think it's as good as Avenging Frieza. Obviously, we're not going to take Galactic Emperor. We already have one. Can only really play one. Should take this time, by the way, to say I'm a little bit excited about the draft tournaments that were just announced yesterday. So there are a lot of tournament packs. It looks like they're really trying to push draft this game, which is something I'm really excited about. Again, here's that pack we were talking about before, Banan or Zarbon. I ended up taking the Zarbon. Probably should have taken the Banan since we already have one Zarbon and we are Galactic Emperor. But Zarbon is not exactly like the worst body, and there are some really interesting plays we can do with him. And then there's that Broly's Ring I mentioned earlier. Got ahead of myself. So that's the last card. So yeah, like I said, I feel like we're pretty good in yellow here. But yeah, so going back to what I was saying, pretty excited about the draft tournaments that are coming. Obviously, they're trying to get you guys to come out and play it for the 4 tournament packs, but I just want more people to be playing because this is, in my opinion, the best way to play a collectible card game. It's just really fun. It's random every time. Everybody's on a very level playing field because everybody's getting random cards every time you play. It's a lot of fun. Really encourage you guys to go out to your local game shops and start playing draft. You can you just need 4 people. That's all you need. Just 4 people. Everybody puts up 20-25 bucks. That's an evening. It's fine. It's great. Okay, so here we go. Going left. Beerus. Obviously, I would love to take Beerus, but I'm super not in the pack. This is just an insane pack for every color that I'm not in right now. So our choices are basically Gold Frieza and Crusher Ball. Since we already have 2 Friezas, and he is a triple striker, 30k, in a format where he's likely to not ever have his attack negated, we just take him. Furious Shell, another card where I wish I was in green. I should have went green. It would have been so great for our strategy. Goldo is the best card here. Jace is great, but Goldo is clearly the best card here. Really am looking for more Ginyu Force in this pack, because if I don't get Ginyu Force, that Ginyu pick is going to be just okay. It's not going to be anything super special. It's just going to be a big body for 1 turn. Really would like to get 1 more Birder, 1 Raccoon out of this pack, and then I would be feeling pretty nice about my Ginyu pickup. See, that's the thing about limited. There's a lot of different ways you can go. There's some risks involved to it, some educated guesses. On top of that, like I said, forcing strategies is kind of like an art. I'm not the best at it, but some people really know what they want to play when they sit down, and they know the tricks of the trade to kind of get it to where it needs to be. So in this pack, we have the Ginyu leader, which I'm strongly considering taking because it's a self-awakened leader in limited. I'm looking at the other cards, but at the same time, like I said, I'm pretty committed to this red-yellow strategy of Galactic Emperor. I've built my deck around it, and I'm just like, I don't know. Crusher Ball is really good here, but I decided to go with the King Cold because at this point, mono yellow might end up being a real possibility because we're not getting what we need from red. We started off decent, and it's just not really panning out. And if you've ever played against King Cold, it's a blowout if it happens to you. Like, honestly, the reason I don't think he's not more played is he's 2 yellow and 3 yellow, I'm sorry, instead of 2 yellow. That really hurts him. Gold Freeze, I can contemplate it for like half a second, but again, I really want to do this Galactic Emperor strategy, and this is pretty much removal in the color I'm already majorly in. I can't pass a Mecha Frieza. Really just cannot afford to let that card go. Right, so we're looking at this pack, Crusher Ball. The rest of it's pretty much junk for us, so it's a very easy Crusher Ball here. 7 packs left in Galactic Battle. At this point, it doesn't look like the Ginyu strategy is going to pay off, so that's, that's how it is sometimes. Sometimes it just doesn't happen. Things don't wheel to you, or just the cards are just not open, so you just don't see them. There is a chance that you open up packs and there's just, you know, lots of copies of the same commons. You just aren't seeing, certain commons that should or should not be there, short printed or otherwise. So looking at this pack, Frost and Crusher Ball are only real picks, and at this point, like I said, I'm not even feeling super great about my red picks because they dried up after pack 1, which means that somebody is a player to my left or right is most definitely heavily in red. Looking at this pack, there's Jace, but at the same time, I'm not really, like I said, we didn't really live the Ginyu dream. I've already seen everything in these packs. We know there's no more Ginyu Force. I only have 1 Murder, 2 Goldos, and a Jace already. Jace is probably not even going to make the cut at this point. So that's why I'm hesitating so strongly here. And I'm like, I could just fill out the curve and take the Sorbet instead, because Sorbet, we have more Sorbet targets than we have Jace targets. So looking at this pack, again, there's the Ginyu. He's still there, but, we're just going to take the Crusher Ball. So we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we have eight picks there. So 4 left in this pack. Pretty sure I can get the Hellish Terror to tail back to me. Don't have enough, targets for Frieza's call, and I still just really don't like the card, so we'll just take the 2-drop blocker, especially since we can swing with him with Galactic Emperor and activate him again, and basically he still keeps his job. I really wanted to go for a Sword and Shield style of deck. Or like just an aggro deck with like Kabbas and stuff, but we just never saw the Kabbas. We'll just take the card that can be energy as opposed to not energy, and then the last card we get is hit. So that's it for Galactic Battle. Really happy with my yellow picks. Not so much with my red. Red, like I said, started out good, not great after pack 1 though. I feel like if you're going to draft, though, you definitely want to draft with Galactic Battle first over Union Force. I've drafted with opening Union Force first, and it feels really bizarre and weird, and it feels like you don't have a great foundation. This time, starting with set 1, it felt a lot better, a lot more natural, and I felt like I had a much better base going into the second set of cards. So looking at this, thinking about Whis Sacred, but there's no way I can force blue. So I'm looking at what's left in the pack. I know... this is me trying to be cute right here. I'm like, oh, I could take the shiny, and like maybe I'll get the Meta Coolers because nobody's going to take Meta Coolers, and maybe I can force some kind of crazy Getty Star, mono yellow deck. But in retrospect, I should have taken either the 19 because of his insane draw synergy with my leader, or the Gohan. So yeah, really disappointed in myself. This is, like I said, this is the 3rd card I think I've passed where I really should have taken something else. So strike 1 is Vegeta, strike 2 is Gotenks, strike 3 is that. At this point, there's so much green in this pack. There's also a lot of red in this pack, which it feels like, I don't know about you guys, but it feels like Union Force is only green and red cards whenever I look at it. It just feels like there's no other colors. So I'm looking at what's in this actual pack. There's a lot of green, and I'm thinking about switching to green, at this point, because like I've seen quality green in 2 packs, and like there's no way it's like some of it's not coming back to me, and I'm like, you know what? There's a ton of green in this set. I could probably just audible to green. Should I really go red? And I'm looking at all the red cards in the deck, and like they all require things I don't have. I don't have Kid Trunks. I don't have big red guys for Bobbity. I don't have Goku and Vegeta, so Vegeta is terrible, and I'm not taking Spopovich. So I take the Tien because it's the ability to flip and its removal. And at this point, I'm like, you know what? We're going to try and force green. We're going to try and go green at this point. See if it happens. If a couple more cards come my way and we start to get like all-star greens like that Gohan right there, and this Ready to Strike Piccolo that just happens to be in the pack, we are definitely going green. So looking at the obvious synergy, we're going to take the Piccolo because he's more likely to be taken because he doesn't require anything. He's just hand destruction, 3-drop blocker, whereas Gohan requires Piccolo. So you either have to have the boost attack Piccolos or the Ready to Strike Piccolos, or he's nothing. So I'm going to get that Gohan. My mission is to get that Gohan to come back around the table to me. So so yeah, we're 3 picks into Union Force, and I'm feeling pretty good, pretty nice now. I feel like I have my legs back underneath of me. I feel like I have some kind of a strategy. Like there's something going on here. Like we're gonna do this. You know, we're gonna combine our green stuff with, you know, the good yellow that we already have. I'm trying to figure out. So 4th pack, which means it's going right. So I'm being held up, I believe, by Brian at this point. I'm like, come on, dude, like pass me the thing. That's me showing you the red cards. I'm like, nothing there was incredibly good in red. So like, that's like me like signaling to you guys, hey, you know what? We're out of the red game. We're going green. Get past a nice, you know, 5-drop, 18. We were really starved for 4 and 5s. I feel like so. I'm feeling pretty good now that I have, you know, 3 solid green picks under my belt, like 3, you know, cards I can feel really good about and know, hey, you know what, maybe this you know, yellow-green deck is going to work out. Cell's obviously not the pick here because I'm thinking about Cyclopean Guard, but like the Occupation Frieza, he's just too good defensively, too good of a beater. I'm going to see if I can get either Cyclopean Guard or Cell to come back to me. This pack, we have just nothing great for us. We just take the Enraged Gohan because removal, and we're now, you know, we need to replace those Vadis' assistants as we took at the very beginning of the game, or the very beginning of the draft, sorry. So yeah, we just know that, you know, we are definitely in green. We're getting all the green right now. And it's not even like bad green. Like the worst card we've taken so far in green here is the Gohan Awakening, which isn't even bad in limited. It's not even a bad card at all. So I definitely think that I took the right signal. I should have been yellow-green probably from the start. And like I said, we're kicking ourselves for not taking. Imagine if we took the Super Saiyan Gotenks and the Raging Attacker Vegeta, just how much gas we'd be having right now. And obviously it would have changed the entirety of the draft, but like, man, got to be feeling pretty good if I had done that. So this is why another reason why I record it, because I can see my own mistakes. So we take the 18 that tabled there because at this point, you know, we've already got the 118. Maybe we could live the Cell Dream if we get lucky and end up packing the 5 or the 7 drops. We end up taking the Cell's Birth there because there's nothing that's playable there. And again, like I said, if we live the Cell Dream, get the Cell's Birth, that would be pretty nice. But we're basically just playing the long shot there. Like there's almost no way that Cell's Birth makes it into our final deck, but those other cards have 0% chance of making it to our final deck. So we're just basically like, it's like playing tier outs. You just take the card that, you know, there's a chance you'll play it. Like if you open the absolute nuts, like if you have opened the 7-drop and the 5-drop, great. This pack has nothing good for us. Literally every card is unplayable. There's the fully trained Gohan is only good if we end up pulling a 6-drop Gohan, which I would just take anyway just because it's money. You know, this is a local. I'll just take the 25, what is it, $23, $24 super rare, especially since I don't have a playset yet. At this point, there's the Cyclopean Guard. It tabled, great, awesome. Now our early game in yellow is looking pretty good. Just need to get some more green picks in the next 2 packs and just kind of really fill it out, and I think we'll have a solid. We just take Dore, Song Caller. We're not switching leaders past the Bobbity. Cell's Birth. Alright, so we have 2 Cell's Birth. Hopefully we open a 7-drop. Probably not happening, by the way. Statistically super not in our favor to open a 7 or a 5-drop Cell. Especially since that, even at 3, I don't think the 3-drop Cell even table back to us. So pack 5, which means we are going left. There we go. So no matter what is in this pack, no matter how good this pack is, like there's the big Getty Star. Fortunately, this pack is terrible for us. No matter what we are taking this Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. I normally do not advocate, ever hate drafting, taking something that you can't play in a deck because it just hurts you. You know, but you could always take something to make your deck better. It's always a good philosophy to stand by. If it doesn't help your deck and make it more consistent, you shouldn't be taking it because you're only hurting yourself by taking a card that just to hurt somebody else. But in this scenario, this is a game that, unlike other draft games where there's just no responses to certain things, like Cold Bloodlust is the only thing that there is. Even if I don't have Cold Bloodlust, if this sticks, I'm dead. There's no way to deal with it in Limited. It's over. It's game over. This card is like super oppressive in this format. Like so I just took it because I just know that if it happens, I'm just dead. It's over. All right, so there's another Ready to Strike Piccolo. So we're gonna take this Ready to Strike Piccolo. But yeah, going back to this Gotenk some more. Brian, who is to my left, actually is in red, I believe. And yeah, he ended up winning this tournament. I ended up coming in second, and he ended up having one or two of those already, those ghost tanks. It's because people passed them to him, and it was lights out on turn 5 every single game I played him. I basically had to kill him before turn 5 because there was just no way. So I can't let that happen. But I'm getting off track here. 18, another just solid card there. We just filling out our 3-drop rosters, hoping we can get some 17 so we can get some really cool interactions of just going 17, 18, and then untapping both at the end of the turn. And just going to have a really cool loop every turn. Have not seen any 17. Pardon me. Haven't seen any 17s yet. So we have 20 left. 20 picks left. There's another Gohan to go with our Ready Strike Piccolo, so that's real easy pick. If that Enraged Gohan Awakening comes back to us, then our extra cards are pretty much just perfect. So the switch to green is starting to pay off. Obviously, we're going very hard into green. We're forcefully taking the green because our yellow is just so set up. I feel like from the beginning, we had the Friezas, you know, we have the Cold Balls, we have the Dodorias, we have the Crusher Balls. Like our yellow is just pretty solid. We got it's a lot of 1-0s. We got Cyclopean Guards. We got some 15k vanillas. So like I said, we're feeling pretty good about that. So it was largely about the second half of this draft was largely about getting another color. And that's not like a terrible strategy to do. Is just to go hard in one color for set 1, and then just change for set 2 because set 2 is very thematic based, and all the cards are in the same color for the theme. So that's not like a terrible strategy if you're super uncomfortable with the premise of the concept of drafting 2 colors. But it's obviously not going to work out every time, and it has very serious issues. So looking at this, there's nothing in this pack that's playable. I'm just debating just taking the 4-drop 15k double strike. There's nothing here for us. It's awful. Again, just take the card, the only card that you can actually play. Big Getty Star is a joke. Oh, actually, I took the Vegeta here. That's surprising. Even I, like, reviewing this footage, I'm just like, shouldn't have taken the Vegeta, so strike 4. Should have taken the other card. There's no reason to take the Vegeta there. I have no idea why I took it. Darkness Energy. Again, not super great options, but that might be a sideboard if somehow somebody comes up with a crazy blocker deck. Just a way out of it. And my bracket for this tournament, I think I ended up playing, it was against a Trunks, a Chilled, a Vegeta, and another Vegeta. I think it was 2 Vegetas, Trunks, and Chilled, if I recall correctly. So, yeah. Again, nothing much great for us for here, so we're just going to take another Darkness Eye Energy for the sideboard. I believe we just take the Awakening Core Meta Cooler just because he's double striker, big guy. Nothing great here. Meta Cooler Core, I believe, is the pick here. Even then, nothing's super great. This is all just junk. It doesn't really matter what we take here. There's nothing that's good. Just hate draft the Goku because there's nothing that can help us. Big Getty Star because we're not switching leaders. Just pass somebody, chill. So last pack. So we just need a couple more things, get a couple more pieces, a couple more 2s and 3s in green, and I think we're in good shape. Last card that comes to us is just a yellow blocker. We can actually use that. So I feel like I'm making a pretty good recovery, but oh, so cards in the pack. Taking the TN here feels pretty fantastic, and there's the 17, which I'm praying comes back to us. It's probably not going to come back to us, but I'm praying 17 comes back to us so we can get this loot. But yeah, TN now gives us amazing consistency for flipping because we now have 2 TNs, and he's really good removal obviously as well in a format where we don't have it. So I'm just feeling really nice, really jazzed about the deck at this point. If I had made less mistakes, obviously this deck would be a lot more polished. I should have been more open and less forceful to trying to draft the yellow-red deck, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to show this video for sure. I know I made a lot of mistakes by the end of it, but by, you know, doing some commentary and pointing out all this stuff. Yep, there's another Ready Strike Piccolo. Oh, and an Occupation Frieza. Oh, and a 16. This is like beautiful. I want this pack. I just take the 16 immediately because 16 is just impossible to deal with in limited. If you don't have the Sun Goten and they have card and you have card advantage on your opponent with 16, that's it. Like, they're not getting rid of the card. I think he's one of the best picks you can possibly have in the format. Just nothing good here. This is all terrible for us. I think Kabira is the best pick here just because it's a 2-drop blocker, but it's all junk. It's all really terrible for us. So when that pack comes back around, like, there's just nothing in it for us. We're just we know that's just bad. We're just praying that initial pack with the 17 comes back to us. So that happens, man, it's gonna feel pretty good. Still have 2 packs to see, so maybe we might get lucky. We might even see another 17 and just live the double 17, double 18 dream. So looking at this, there is a 17 in the pack. It's not the 17 I was looking for, but it's the 17, so we'll just take it. So now our 5 drops are looking pretty nice. We already had 6s and we had a 7, so now we have an 18, a 17, and a Meta Cooler. So we have bodies in our 5 drop slot now. Our 4 drop has, you know, I believe Hellish Terror Frieza and Mecha Frieza at this point. So I don't think we really have any other great 4s, if I'm not mistaken. I'm trying to think of what other 4s we might have. Oh yeah, we have Gohan. Duh. Of course we have Gohan. That was the whole point of making the switch with the Ready to Strike Piccolos. Obviously we have a plethora of grade 3s as well. So we are, you know, winding down the draft. There's only 8 picks left. So does the 17 come back? Does the 17 come back? No. Oh no, the next pack will be 17, so we take the 18 here again. So now we're just like, does the 17 come back? Because if 17 comes back, man, I feel like we've done it. We've turned the draft around from, you know, making a mid-game switch here. I feel like we did a really good job. Not the best, like I said. If I had recognized the Raging Attacker Vegeta and the Gotenks a little bit earlier, this would have been much smoother. We would have had a much better deck. Okay, so who am I waiting on right now? 7 picks to go. So like I said, we're going to be doing another sweep through here. Just waiting for my initial pack to come back. Come on. What is taking so long? There it is. So here's my initial pack. Is 17 in the pack? No, he is not. Sad times. Alright, we'll just take the removal spell. Because the rest of the pack is pretty much just junk for us. Like, we're not going to take a 2-drop 5k blocker. That's not happening. We're not androids, so. So yeah, basically we made 5 mistakes in this video so far that I can count. The 4 that I mentioned before, which was, you know, taking the Vegeta, not taking the Raging Attacker Vegeta, not taking the Gotenks, taking the Meta Cooler, taking the Majin Vegeta and then also not cutting our nails before we ended up filming this video. I'm like waiting for the comments, and I'm like dreading them. I'm just looking at it, I'm just like, oh my god, were they really, trust me, my hygiene is usually better than this, I'm sorry. Occupation Frieza, pretty great late pickup there. So, defensively, we are just golden right now. We have Crushers, Dodorias, double Occupation Frieza, double Dodoria, and we have good blockers now because we switched colors into green. There's just nothing here again. Dore, because he's probably the only thing we can actually even hope to play. I don't know, man. It just feels like Union Force in general. Like, there's so many bad commons and uncommons, which is why I was saying, like, draft set 1 first. If you draft set 2 first, there's just so many junk things. You just don't know what you're playing. Everything just feels off, and then you get into Galactic Battle, and everything's just turned on its head, and everybody's just like, ah, crap, got audible. I feel like it just ruins the entirety of the whole draft. So, yeah. And here's another pack where we're just hate draft the Bobby. There's nothing in there for us. So yeah, we're basically winding down at this point to the end of the draft. So, you know, if you guys like enjoyed this style of video, you know, give me a comment or like, let me know how I'm doing here. Obviously, hit the subscribe button if this was helpful to you. I realize this video is a little bit long. I probably should, you know, do a little bit better job, you know, learning how to fast forward and edit through this stuff. But I wanted to kind of give you guys the play-by-play in real time. Also, this is a lot of space to fill. You know, it's the first time I've really tried to do one of these. Definitely think next time I do this, we're gonna speed through the picks. We're definitely going to do some, you know, fast forwarding, a lot of editing through it. So yeah, last 3 picks. Time Ring is the only thing here that's even like just hate drafted because the others are just junk. There's no way. We could play Patara, but it wouldn't have any effect. Salza's the only thing we could play here. We've already committed to the leader. Just pass it. And then there's you go, Sealed Ball. Last card. Useless. So there you go. That is the Galactic Emperor deck that I ended up drafting. Ended up getting 2nd place with it.